Welcome back to the Everything Paddle podcast. I'm Ewan, that man is Jake, and this is episode 4.
We are back.
How are you on this fine evening, Jake?
Yeah, I'm well. We saw each other earlier, didn't we? We played a little partido.
Feels like hours ago now.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But that was good. I enjoyed that.
I had a little game.
Yeah.
Put my right side into practice.
Yeah, that was good.
And we've got a jam-packed episode for you this week because me and Jake have been really busy over the last weekend. I played a tournament. I played 2 tournaments actually, Saturday and Sunday.
Really?
Yes, I'll explain in a bit. You played a tournament as well.
Yes, I played the Four Nations in Leeds, and that was really good fun, and I really enjoyed it, and it was cool to represent England.
Yes.
That was cool.
I will ask you about that ASAP, but before we start, got another little exciting segment to start us off. I've got the Would You Rather questions, okay?
Okay.
But they're all obviously paddle themed. So just to start off easy, I want, fairly quick answers, just a little which one you're picking and a quick why, okay?
Okay.
So, easy one to start. Would you rather play in the rain or the wind?
Oh, is that easy?
It's not easy.
I'm going to say wind.
Why?
Because with rain, it's no point in playing.
It's a different sport, as many people say.
Yeah, it's just not fun, is it? At least with wind, it's not fun, but you can actually play paddle.
You play low.
Yeah. Avoid it going up in the air.
Both of them are quite irritating to play.
Yeah,
I think we can agree.
It's not a great start for asking would you rathers.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather play in minus 10 degrees or 45 degrees Celsius?
45 degrees Celsius.
Tell me why.
There is nothing worse than playing in freezing cold conditions. I hate having cold hands. I hate being cold. I just hate it.
Yeah, but you can still play, you can still have a good game. I guess if the court's frozen, sometimes the ball still bounces off it.
Yeah, but in the heat, what's not to love there?
That's true. I'd die in the heat. I'm not good in heat, so I would die. I think you'd be okay. Imagine the smashes in 45 degrees.
I know. Well, I'm just trying to
speed.
imagine Spanish conditions, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen in Chile? That's a good topic, actually. Christian Medina has just played Javi Garrido.
Yeah. Stan told me about this earlier.
And Dineno in Chile, and that
was pretty close to 45 degrees, wasn't it?
Yeah, the ball is absolutely flying over there. So
big smashes.
That's cool. Yeah, congrats to Christian Medina. Little shout out there.
Would you rather play with someone who blames you for every point that you lose or miss, or someone that just takes all of your shots? These are all quite negative, I've realised.
Yeah, blames me.
Okay, I don't know if your ego can handle that.
Well, I don't miss. So there's the ego.
There you go.
No, well, I'd rather hit the ball.
You want to play at least.
Yeah.
Someone's taking your shots. Yeah.
Don't appreciate the ego comment there.
Would you rather, this is a positive one, here you go. Would you rather have the perfect Bajada or the perfect backhand volley?
Backhand volley.
So just for people who knew, Bajada is the attacking one of the back glass.
Yeah, the one you hit downwards.
Yeah, you hit downwards. Perfect backhand volley. Why backhand volley?
Because you probably get that at least 20 times more
at
in
the
a match.
Net. Yeah. I was trying to pick shots there that I thought were fairly balanced. It was quite hard.
Yeah, I might have gone with maybe a kick smash and a Bajada.
Yeah,
I suppose you'd rather.
But then you'd always have the kick smash. You just everywhere in the court. Yeah. Backhand volley, that's fair because obviously you want to be at the net most of the time.
Yeah.
So you're always going to get that. That would be a good skill to have. Okay, this is a good one. Would you rather lose every point from a let? So any time the ball touches the net, you always lose that 50-50.
Right.
Or when the ball hits the cage, you always lose that 50-50. So ball hits the cage and it always comes down for you or always skims the net, goes the other side for you.
Skims the net.
You'd rather have that because
if my partner knew that, if my opponents knew that every time I hit the cage, I was going to lose a point.
Yeah.
He would just spam the cage.
Again, I was thinking, are you going to realise that you could get it on the cage way more? It's hard to get on the net.
Yes, yeah. I mean, at the net is pretty much point over, right? As soon as it hits the cage, at least I can try.
Everyone thinks that the lets in the cage is against them. Everyone has that mentality of of course.
It's my fault.
Why not?
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Would you rather get tagged in the head once per match or accidentally smash your partner's racket every 3 matches? And again, you can tell I've tried to balance these out.
Yeah.
So imagine we played today, you had to deal with at least one tag to the head.
Well, it depends. Do I want to be a prick to myself or a prick to you?
Think
Almost.
about it, every single partner, every 3 matches that you break with a racket and they have to spend money on a new one.
Yeah, or I get smashed in the head.
Which is painful and embarrassing.
Well, I suppose I'd have to. Well, here we go. Here's a Everything Paddle store. They could just go to your store and find out the discounts on there.
You choose that one, and then we work out a little deal together. It always comes to my store.
No, I'd probably choose getting smashed in the head.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. It makes you seem like a good person.
Okay, good. Yeah, I like getting smashed in the head.
Okay, well, that was really exciting.
Yeah, very happy today, aren't we?
Let's talk about our tournaments. I'll start with my tournament, if that's okay.
Yep, sure.
And then we'll move on to you. So I played 2 tournaments last weekend. I played the Epsom Grade 2, which you saw the video on.
Yep.
I also played a Grade 4 in Ilford with Andrew Churchhouse.
I did know that.
Just forgot about that.
Yes,
So that's the
yeah,
one.
yeah.
So in the Epsom one, I played on the left side, but with Andrew, I played on the right. And I tried to apply the tips that Jake gave me in the last episode. So haven't watched the last episode. You should have, because we're on episode 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Should have watched episode 3. Basically, Jake was giving me a load of tips on how to be better on the right side, basically poaching more, being more aggressive, closing the middle, and making sure I was wanting the ball and staying in the game. And I just wanted to say thanks to you because it definitely worked. I didn't film any of the Grade 4 just because I just wanted to enjoy the tournament.
Yeah, sure.
But I noticed a huge difference. It probably helped a little bit that I was playing with Andrew because it was like, you feel like just Andrew's level's a little bit less. He played unreal, by the way. He played so good on the left.
That's good to hear, yeah.
Like he was literally faultless. But I was constantly coming over to the middle, closing the net. I was in the game 50-50. There was no fridge. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Because I saw you played one of the juniors I'm coaching.
Yes,
Jamie.
Yeah. He was brilliant. Like he's got so much potential.
Yeah.
And you're seeing so many of these young players now. But that was probably me and Andrew's best performance. I actually felt a little bit bad for him because like he's such a nice kid, but we were so like pumped up for that game. I had the mindset of like, I'm going to destroy this guy right now. So I did feel a little bit bad because like his parents were watching as well.
Who did you lose to?
We lost to Pau, who was on the left, and Tom. And what we did
in the final?
No. It was in the semis, I think.
Oh, that's unlucky.
So yeah, it was a really tough one. We lost them just on 2 tie breaks. It was fast 4. What we decided was that we decided before the tournament I was going to play the right the whole thing. If we lost any set, I'd go on the left. And we did swap, but it didn't make any difference. It was we just lost on tie breaks, but it was great fun. And then, did you want to discuss a little bit the Grade 2 I played the day before?
Because, that looked like a good, fun tournament.
Oh my God, it was amazing. And like, if you weren't doing that other tournament, I think it was literally like every paddle player in the UK was at that tournament.
Yeah, I definitely would have been there. Yeah, definitely would have been there. It looked really cool.
Yeah, it was great fun. I made a video on it and it was, I didn't film round 1 because I just wanted to focus on the round 2 game, which was Alfonso and Chris, who are both like the top players in the UK. So number 3 and number 4 in the UK rankings right now.
Really good players.
Very, very good players. I played on the left, Stan played on the right, and
why was that? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, of course, because a few people asked this as well. Because I know in the videos I'm like, I'm playing on the right side now, and now I'm like back on the left again.
Yeah.
So yeah, first of all, I like the left.
As we all do.
Yeah, we all do. So in the week, me and Stan played cross court on the left, and I beat Stan.
The winner played on the left.
No, then me and Stan played on the right cross court. Stan beat me. Then we did like a training match against Ollie and Harry. I played on the left with Stan. We won 6-love. Switched sides. We lost 6-3. Or did we win 6-3? I can't remember. Either or, it was
like more beneficial.
It was a massive difference. And I personally thought that against Alfonso and Chris, I just thought I can be so consistent. And I just thought on the left side, I'll be able to just
take
like control
balls.
the point, take more balls, and just keep us going because you've seen Stan, like he has like unbelievable shots and like he honestly looks like a pro player sometimes when he plays. But I just thought, we just need such consistency if we want to get any games here.
Yeah.
So I truly believed it was the right decision to do that. And yeah, go on, tell me your thoughts of the video that you saw.
Yeah, I thought it went well. I mean, Chris and Alfonso are a different breed. They're a joke and they play so well together. mean, they won the tournament, right? So
yeah, exactly.
yeah, it was difficult. I thought there was some times that he probably could have smashed more with how fast the balls were.
Yeah.
They looked absolutely rapid, as Alfonso was showing when he basically popped the ball out pretty much
Yeah,
every point.
It was a strange one with that. I played in the first match. I didn't film. I actually was smashing loads with it, and also in the tournament with Andrew as well. I think it was just because of who we were playing. When the ball went up, I wanted to play Vibra, and just my whole sort of focus when I was playing them was just like, keep them back, don't give them anything to attack. But in hindsight, definitely should have attacked a little bit more.
Yeah, I think when you play these players, like if you play, for example, you would have to admit that Chris and Alfonso are better than you. So if you
Really,
sorry to offend you there.
why love
If you play at kind of your level, right? Let's say you play at your level, they play at their level, they're going to win.
Yeah.
So you need to play off your tits.
Yeah.
To beat their level, right? So if you just play your solid game, don't miss, unfortunately, you're not going to beat them.
Yeah. And definitely probably could have just threatened them a little bit more. And one thing also you mentioned to me earlier was, a big part of the video was the backhand pop out from Alfonso, which a lot of people liked. I wasn't minding it because I thought this is great for the video. People are going to love this. So I did kind of I think it actually looks a little bit worse in the video because I basically every single pop out I put in to make a compilation. So it looks like he's literally doing it every game.
Yeah.
But maybe only did it 4 or 5 times. But go on. Do you want to give me some advice on, how to deal with that a bit better?
Yeah. With the balls like being so fast, I think one thing I've learned playing these FIPs where you go internationally and the balls are ball paddle balls and they're so quick, right?
And you're always playing big smashes as well.
Yeah. So you want to try and keep the ball low, but it's making sure you don't basically play chiquitas or a neutral shot.
Yeah.
It's really important to play like fast to the body, fast to the hips to avoid them basically having any option of attacking a volley or slapping it out with that pop out, right? So,
well, we trained a little bit today on the backhand pop out, which will be a video out soon for me. And when I was feeding it to Nikhil at the start, who was popping it out, the only ones he couldn't do a backhand pop out was when it was a fast, low ground stroke, because it's basically impossible without either going over the net or hitting the net.
Yeah, interesting. There was that rally in the video. I don't know if you will post it in the match, but there was a rally that I remember that they hit 3 volleys and I hit 3 off the wall or ground strokes. Fast.
Yeah, no, I think I do remember this.
And all they could do was just volley, and eventually, like, we got the winner through their mistake.
Yeah, it was too many balls that were just sort of like 40-50%.
Yeah.
Which I think came from us like trying to be consistent, but we needed just more speed. And
I think one of them just like 1 or 2, even if you miss, just threaten a slap at him just so he kind of pipes him down, doesn't do it again. Because like at the end of the day, he is human. So if you smack a ball at him and it hits him, he probably won't do it again, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know about Fonzie actually. He's got that mindset. He just doesn't care. So, but I think like there's different ways to go around it, and like Chris has got a good Viva as well. So I saw you lob line maybe a couple of times, and Fonzie still kicked it out. Sorry, Fonzie being Alfonso.
Yeah.
For clearance there. But if you lob middle and play to Chris's Vibra and avoid Chris's smash, that's where I think you could have had some more joy in taking that.
We did get a little bit of joy from that. I thought them as a partnership is so amazing because Chris is like so tall.
Such a big wingspan. We spoke about this.
Literally spoke about this.
Yeah, episode 3.
Yeah, in episode 3, you literally told me that strategy of being tall on the left and then closing in.
Yeah, the forehand player closing on the net.
And then it happened, and it was Alfonso being able to go so close to the net, and it did not matter if the ball went over him because Chris could come behind, either play the Vibes or...
Exactly.
They're also so fast as well, so even if you do lob them, they're close, they move back and still smash anyway.
And they've got really good reaction volleys, so if you try and chip and charge with a Chiquita, it's really difficult to even still win the point, even if you get to the net position with that volley.
So having said all of that, so we lost 6-2, 6-1. We definitely could have got a couple more in the second set, which we lost 6-1. We had 3 golden points on other ones. Now, obviously, you can make the counter argument that they up the levels on the golden points and really kind of lock in. But I still think, you've got to take at least one of those. There was one game with 40-15 up, and it was just a few mistakes. And that's where the kind of narrative, especially speaking to them at the end, was you've got to just be more consistent.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I think they're saying consistent on the balls that you shouldn't miss.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah, in general,
like the
I get what you're
easy
saying.
mistakes,
Yeah.
because like if you said to Chris, okay, I'm not going to miss, who's still going to win the match? Chris will say himself, 100%,
Yeah,
right?
and then they'll say to me, you need to be more aggressive.
Exactly.
So
It's just understanding, I think, a little bit when you need to take the risk, and when you don't.
hmm
So maybe there was some times that you just missed a ball that you shouldn't have missed, basically.
Yeah.
And there was balls that you probably could have gone for and didn't. So
Yeah.
shot selection, decision making, all of that.
Let's move on to your tournament then. So this was the same weekend. So it was last weekend. There was only a few players missing from the Epsom, and they were pretty much all doing your tournament, which was...
It was the Four Nations. Yes, very proud to say that I represented England with my teammates Sam Jones, Theo Garton and Ollie Cole.
All amazing players again.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a unique experience that, I don't know, may or may not happen again. So I
was a little bit... I feel like this could have been a real big thing. Do you think it was a shame that it clashed with the Grade 2?
Yeah, because like Chris and Alfonso could have represented England, but they already agreed to play in the Epsom Grade 2. So that was 2 players out. Frankie already agreed to play the Epsom Grade 2. Nikhil was in Scotland for an event. So it was just a little bit last minute.
Right, I see.
Maybe that's why I got the opportunity.
It sounds like such an amazing big thing, but I feel like it was just kind of like, oh, you did that.
Yeah,
that should be like a big
it's difficult.
Thing.
It's also because it's the Four Nations is England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland playing against each other. And Scotland was the only really team that actually brought probably their best players in the Scottish team. So Louis Harris represented Wales, which was really cool for them because
he's the best player in Wales.
Yeah. So that's cool. And then you had Sam McNeill and Nick Hatchett, who are experienced players playing for Scotland.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So they were really tough, and that's who we lost to in a tiebreak.
Yeah.
In a third set tiebreak, we won the first set 7-5.
So this is you and Theo playing together.
So this is me and Sam. We mixed it up a little bit.
Okay.
It's interesting because we played against Wales, me and Theo played together. Played against Ireland, me and Sam played together. Played against Scotland, me and Sam played together.
I see, yeah.
So the way it worked was basically your number one player in the LTA rankings has to play pair 1. Annoyingly, Sam Jones is GB number 2 in the FIP rankings, outranked all the GB players, but Sam is the worst in the LTA rankings.
Oh,
so
I see.
I had to play pair 1 because I'm the highest ranked in the LTA. That was a difficult thing because we might have changed it up. We might have done it tactically where me and Sam might have played pair 2, for example, or something like that. So that was a bit frustrating, but I suppose it's the same for everyone else.
You played against Louis Harris, is that right?
Yes, we lost to Louis.
So I wanted to ask you about that, just because from my experience playing against, all of the GB players, Louis for me has always been the one that I just feel like I can't do like anything against. Like he seems the toughest. So I wanted to know what your experience was like playing against him.
Yeah, we lost. That starts off well. We lost 6-1.
Yep.
Won the second set 6-3, and then lost 15-13 in a tiebreak.
So how did you go from 6-1? What happened in the first set? Just too fast?
No, not at all. I'll happily admit it wasn't my best weekend at all, and I think Theo wouldn't mind me saying it wasn't his either.
Okay.
But we are playing a tournament this weekend, so hopefully we can change that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't play our best, and the first set we went 5-0 down.
Okay.
Had a kind of big shock to the system of, wow, we were in a tournament. Let's actually apply ourselves here.
I can literally imagine you and Theo being like
yeah. And then the second set, we was like, okay, let's get into the match. Let's be disciplined. Let's be patient. And we did that, and we got through the second set. Now, I believe if that third set tiebreak was a full set,
you would have won.
I believe so. I don't want to say we would have, but I think it would have been in our favour.
Yeah.
Because we were all into the match now. Being a tiebreak, it's 50-50. We had, I believe we had, if I remember rightly, 3 or 4 match points. And yeah, so it's just frustrating. They ended up getting the better of us in the tiebreak being 15-13. So happens, but yeah, it was a good experience. Playing Lou was difficult. I would have to be honest. probably most balls didn't end up going to
I was
him.
going to ask you, did you try and freeze him out a little bit?
He was playing with a good tennis player who didn't really miss, just put the ball in, and the conditions were really difficult to play on. And I think that's why I was shocked when I first.
Was it fast then?
No, it was really slow.
I see. So you
really
couldn't use
slow.
a smash that much?
Couldn't use a smash, and the playing paddle didn't work.
Right.
It was like nudging worked. The glass were really slippery, really condensed. Like
that sucks.
It was freezing cold.
Where was this?
Leeds.
Yeah, Leeds isn't the most amazing venue.
I apologise to Leeds, but I hate the club. I can't stand it. Every time I've played there, I haven't enjoyed it.
Leeds is a bit of a funny one because
the lighting's terrible because it's pitch black. It
should be an amazing club because it's in a good location. It's got
Slazenger
so many courts.
As well.
It's Slazenger, but the issue with the club in general is the fact that it's freezing,
dark.
It's dark,
low roof.
I thought the black is quite cool.
It's cool. I didn't say it was aesthetically not pleasing,
but it's very dark.
But you can't see a thing
because the roof is super low as well.
So bright.
So I feel like it's actually not the best place to actually play paddle in.
No,
it's just got the room for paddle courts.
Yeah, I don't enjoy it. It's a massive tin can with a load of paddle courts in it.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't feel like a club.
Mm-hmm. How did you feel mentally?
Very down.
Yeah.
Even though like we got back into the match, it was just frustrating not playing well. We then played Ireland. And I think Ireland would happily say that we were the better team in paper and probably should have won in 2 sets very comfortably. It went to a championship tiebreak against Ireland. So that just shows, well, no, let's not say that. But yeah, it was not my greatest match.
So are we saying is that 3 matches, 3 L's?
That is, yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry. So we beat Ireland.
Oh, you did beat Ireland?
We beat Ireland. It was just 10-4 in a tiebreak.
Okay, but you feel like it should have
been. We lost the first set
6-1. You should have. It's like I don't want to make any. I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but it does sound like maybe you and Theo together.
That was with Sam.
So
you can't even
maybe
say that.
Maybe it's you then.
Yeah. No, it was.
Your head wasn't there. That tournament.
Yeah, I've been saying this to myself. I think my passion for tournaments lately and my drive to want to win hasn't been there. And it's interesting because...
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I've never felt like that before. I've been coaching a lot recently and I think I'm just exhausted.
Bit of burnout.
Yeah.
Playing so many tournaments.
Yeah. And just constantly
sometimes
on court.
You need the excitement of the tournament.
Yeah.
If you're playing all the time, it's like, it's another tournament.
If you told 16-year-old JB you're going to be representing England...
And you're not going to be up for it.
Yeah, exactly. It would baffle me.
Maybe you do need just maybe just a couple of days off, whether it's a trip just away, like complete paddle break, because it is so full on. Like with both what we do, you never really get the break from paddle. When you're coaching all week, you're at the club all week, you're playing matches, you're playing tournaments.
Yeah,
all your messages are paddle related.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's nice just to go somewhere where you can just be a human.
Yeah. Do you know what? I had Tuesday off of not looking at paddle court.
Yeah.
And I came back Wednesday and was like, I'm actually excited to step on a paddle court. And I had
and that's how it
10 hours
be.
of coaching.
Especially like the amazing club you coach at Ilford. Like you should be so gassed to be there all the time.
And I'm really excited this weekend. We've got a grade 2 in Bristol.
Yes.
We are the number 1 seeds. And I think this is a really good tournament to turn 2025 around and make it a good start to the season. Because we are still early in 2025, aren't we?
I want to be sat here next week when we film, if you telling me how incredible it was. Can you win?
What do you mean, can we win? Tiger Woods once said, don't enter a tournament unless you think you're going to win.
Did he say that?
He didn't say that specifically. He said about himself. He said, well, I don't enter tournaments unless I think I'm going to win or a chance of winning.
But by that logic, I should never enter any tournament.
No, sorry, he said it wrong. Let me
go on. You have a little look at that.
Yeah, let me just confirm.
While Jake's looking at that, I'm going to look just at a couple of the questions that were submitted in the last podcast. So, as always, keep all of the questions coming in because we'll answer each of them. Do you have it now?
I do. Why go to a tournament if you're not going there to try to win?
Try to win.
Yeah. What did I say?
Like you have to win.
Well,
or believe you. I don't know. Believe you're going to win.
But the interviewer said, you'll learn. Tiger Woods did not learn.
My main sort of question was, how stacked is it? Do you genuinely believe you have a chance?
The last tournament me and Theo played together, it was very similar to this. Grade 2 in Leeds, funny enough.
Yeah.
And we did win. I would say that...
What's your toughest competition?
Pau and Kike.
Okay.
there, or George Weller and Jamie Gould.
Can beat both of them.
Well, last time we played both of them, I've beaten them. So
you just got to lock in mentally.
Yeah, I think, and this is hopefully we'll start the next podcast next week with a trophy.
With a trophy, that can be our first bit of memorabilia.
Yeah. Okay, let's. I'll shake your hand on that. I will bring back a trophy.
Okay, let's do the Q&A questions then. So I've got the first one here from Tommy. Would be interesting to hear what you guys think are the most important skills to develop as you try to move up from intermediate level. Now, I've got one, so I don't know if you wanted to have a think while I explain mine.
Go
on. So I think a really important skill as you're trying to move from intermediate level is to really try and get distinction and variety with your overhead game. So I think a massive one would be like Bandeja Vibra, maybe not so much on those two, but Vibra and Rulo. Like I almost want the player to be thinking in their head, what shot am I going to play, and then execute that. Because I feel a lot of intermediate players just every overhead is the same, and it's kind of like a half Bandeja Vibra thing. I think to get to that next stage, it needs to be like the ball goes up, I'm going to play a Vibra. Ball goes up, I'm going to now play a Rulo across the cage, or a kick smash. So I think that's one thing that can really kick you on, is really try and practice what are the different preparations, what are the different types of shots on the overheads, and then execute them.
Yeah, that's a really good bit of advice there. I would say anticipating the rally and trying to read your opponent's shots. So reading the game, understanding what shot you play will probably end up this shot, if that makes sense. Yeah. So trying to read your opponent's racket, their preparation, what are they doing.
So a big one would be like, if you see they're going to lob, take a step back.
Yeah. Take that step back. If you see that they're struggling off the glass, then maybe take a step forward. Like you see a lot at the intermediate level is people winning. And I think this is almost a negative at the moment, because the thing with paddle is at the intermediate level, it is so easy to win the point with a smash.
Yeah.
So that's why everyone smashes. Whereas as soon as you go to step up to advance, if you don't smash out or smash it back over to your own side, you're almost losing the point, aren't you?
Yeah, for sure.
So with that intermediate level, it's like you said, can you do a Vibra or a Rulo to avoid the smash? And then if you are intermediates and playing people that only smash, can you read the smash, seeing their racket preparation?
And then already moving forward.
Exactly.
No, I think that's a really good point. Like anticipation, reading it. It's similar to what you've actually been saying to me about the trying to step in and poach. Like, rather than just sort of standing there, it's like, look at what's happening in the rally. What can you do to help, to make sure that when the ball does come to you, you're ready?
Exactly.
Okay, great. So next one I've got from Baz, and
Baz Paddle.
He's got a GB flag as his profile picture.
Nice.
Look at his videos.
Brexit means Brexit.
I might put this on the podcast. I don't know if that's actually him.
I really hope it
is the most Brexit account. But he wants to know, what do you do when you get on court and feel really slow, like a step behind your usual self? Happened to me today. Felt like I was playing with a handbrake on.
Well, this is a great example of what I felt like in Leeds.
Yeah. Okay, I've got one thing, because I actually had a similar thing with Andrew just in one of our games that we started off a bit slow. Exactly the same feeling. Like suddenly you're like, what the hell? Like a game goes and you're just a little bit slow and you're making a few mistakes. So one thing, like we spoke about last week, was to discuss a tactic that we're going to work on.
This is what I was going to mention.
Great thing, because then you're mentally focused. But for me, make sure that you really focus on your warm-up, because I think in the intermediate stage, people don't casually warm up, and then the game
they just walk on court, right?
Yeah, and then it's slow. But if you have the best warm up, like we've had this before, we've had an amazing warm up. Like I remember one time you come down to Malden and you showed me this warm up that you'd been doing, and then we had such an amazing game straight away, because
you're already
so warm and so intense.
Yeah, it's like one thing I learned from a GB coach, John Leach. He said, whatever heart rate you kind of average during a paddle match, that's the heart rate you want to be at the first point on.
Oh, wow. That's really interesting.
So basically, if I play a paddle match at around 170, 180 heart rate, if I'm not at that heart rate from point one, then what am I doing, right? Because if I'm at 120...
That means you didn't start intense enough.
Exactly.
Do you remember one time we was with Harry and we were checking our heart rate, and Harry's average for the match was like 220?
It's interesting is because I do agree
Not
that
surprised.
Like that's interesting, because as like I like to run. So as a runner, my heart rate generally, because I'm a long distance runner, it stays quite low.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was hard. Like, and I said this to John, that it's hard for me to get my heart rate up.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, you've got to do more of an intense warm up.
But he's saying, though, if you're average, though, he doesn't necessarily, if your average is 140, he's saying the first point has to be 140. It doesn't matter if it's low or high.
But if I get into, okay, I understand what you're saying, but I believe my average is like 160, 170, 150. So, and I'd be going in at like 130.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So I'm just missing out a little bit, but I find it hard unless I'm, and he was right. He is right. Like, unless I'm that intense starting off, then I'm not at my peak, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good
sorry
point.
to Baz, because I kind of gave like 3 answers in one there, but I think the main thing we kind of stumbled across at the end is how important the warm up is.
Yeah.
I do a training session every Friday with Dan, Stan, and Harry. And to be fair to Dan, one of the things he does straight away with us is we have like the most intense warm up. He makes us run, he makes us do footwork drills, and I never ever feel off the pace then during the training session because we've had that warm up. Whereas in matches all the time, you sometimes feel off the pace.
Yeah,
probably
exactly.
a bit like today. Like when I played, I wasn't great, but maybe it's the warm up.
Yeah, and in Leeds, I don't think I did the greatest warm up.
No.
So yeah,
Probably because you've done so many, you're just like, yeah, we'll hit again.
yeah, it is annoying. Like,
Start strong.
I hate warm ups,
Yeah, they're boring.
but they are beneficial.
But they are very beneficial.
Last thing, guys, we're gonna get a better table, and we are gonna do this. We're gonna commit to this, and a shelf here.
Do you think we can fit one?
100%.
Yeah.
What memorabilia do you want to see on the table, on the shelves? I think we've got a plan to put the logo on here, so that will, if you've got any questions about why it's distracting, that's going to go on there.
In a couple weeks, it will look amazing behind us.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that.
Thanks so much for watching or listening to this episode. We are on Spotify now, so you might already be listening on that. But if you prefer to listen on that, you can go over to that. If you're on YouTube, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and we will see you in next week's episode.
See you then.
Nice one, mate. Nice one. Oh. What do you think of it? It was all right?
Yeah. I
I think if it was any good,
Really? We just waffled about our tournaments.